It is with great pleasure that I welcome and introduce the guest of honor, Mr. Armin Omedian. And I'd like to also introduce his family that's here tonight. We have Pam and Terry Roach and Dan and Sue Omedian, along with lots of grandchildren and his special friend Clara and her family. Thank you all so much for coming. We appreciate it. I would also like to take a moment to recognize the GRCC Board of Trustees that are here, both past and present, as well as the GRCC Foundation Board members. If you could wave and recognize you, thank you so much. Thank you for all that you do for GRCC and our students. We appreciate you. I'm sure you will all agree that the music tonight was fabulous, and it is with great pride that I acknowledge and thank the two GRCC music alums that performed for us tonight. Tonight we had Bryson Beer and Jeremy Verise, and they were absolutely fabulous. And what I want you all to pay attention to and recognize is we have a phenomenal music program at GRCC, and these two gentlemen are living proof. Thank you. Thanks for taking the time. And speaking of phenomenal, it's my pleasure to introduce you all to Dr. Stephen Ender, the 9th president of Grand Rapids Community College.
Phenomenal is a little bit of a stretch. You know, she's new in her role. I think she apparently hadn't heard that I'm retiring, but it's all right. Armin. So I was thinking about Armin today as I was trying to determine what I wanted to say tonight. I met Armin very early in my tenure at GRCC. I came in March and then came back in May and then started in the summer, and Armin was in to see me in the summer. And I would describe it retrospectively as a job interview, I think, as I think about that meeting. Armin wanted to know what my plans were and what my challenges were, and you know, he was really interested in scholarships, his alma mater, Kettering, and could we get some work done there? And he said, I haven't had a lot of success yet getting this going, and can you help me with that? And I said, sure, I can do that. Let's meet again. So Armin's the kind of guy, you do your follow-up, you know, you don't let anything lay down. So when we met the next time, I had done my work, and we had people at Kettering to see, and looks like this was moving forward. And he said, I really like that responsiveness, Steve. I really like the fact that you took on my challenge and you went right to work. He said, I admire that, and we have had a fabulous relationship since that day. But the thing that should be emphasized about Armin and his giving and his philanthropy, he doesn't throw money at the wall. Armin supports good enterprises. He supports, in all cases, people, students. How can I take my money and move another person forward? You know, the best, I think the most significant thing I can say when I think about Armin, it's quite impactful for me personally, is if someone asked me to describe Armin, I'd say, he's a good man. And I don't know, for me, and maybe I'm just a male chauvinist pig, but when a man sees another man and describes him as a good man, and for me, that means admiration. That means I'd like to emulate. That means I hope to be someone like Armin when I grow up. And I'm still growing, Armin. You know, you got 25 years on me. But Armin is a good man, and he talks the talk, but he walks the walk better than anybody that I've worked with. since I've been in Grand Rapids. Armin is always looking for the next project. It's always about who do we need to help. It's always about how do you prove proof of concept. That's where Armin wants to invest his dollars. And we have had a fabulous, fabulous relationship with Armin Omedian in the 8 years that I've been at GRCC. So tonight, Armin, and for your family, this is our celebration of you the man, of you and your generosity, of your always seemingly caring for someone else more than yourself, and always doing it with this joyful glee for life, which I truly, truly admire. And if I could just get half of that, Armin, my wife would really be happy, you know. I've never seen Armin Omedian down. He's always up and moving, and you better be moving because he's moving quick if you want to stay up with him. So my role here tonight was only to probably tell you what you already know, that we're here to celebrate a great man, someone who celebrates the joy of life every day, and that we are really proud and honored to have as a friend. Armin, thank you very much.
Thank you, President Ender. As President Ender said, tonight is about honoring a legacy, specifically the Omedian family legacy. As you all know, Armin Omedian is a wonderful man that is full of life, love, and lots of ideas. However, you may not know the specifics around the Omedian legacy as it relates to GRCC. And to help you understand that, I invite you to watch our first video for the evening.
Within our community, there are a few names which are synonymous with the term generosity. Omedian is one of those names. And if you had the chance to attend the Grand Rapids Community Foundation's event honoring the patriarch of this family, you would have seen how students in the Challenge Scholars Program benefit from his giving. Many of those students will follow the path that Armin and his children followed, attending Grand Rapids Community College. As a family, GRCC became their first home away from home, and they have made sure that other students not only have the opportunity, but also that the instruction they receive and the equipment they utilize is exceptional.
It was kind of established early in our lifetime that, you know, GRCC, which was JC then, was a great starting point.
I started coming here as a senior in high school, and then we all graduated from here. So, great school.
Yeah. I was in the first dental hygiene class, and I have great memories. I still have great friends that I'm in touch with.
I went on to get my MBA at Grand Valley. Just a great preparation coming out of this environment here at community college to move on up.
The number of donations to GRCC that are associated with the Omedian name are too many to cover in a short time. They span from scholarships to capital improvement projects, from fundraising events to equipment purchases to innovation in teaching. Our dental and nursing programs in particular have benefited from Omedian support.
We're sitting right now with an X-ray Dexter mannequin, and this is actually a human skull embedded in plastic. And this is the method that the students use to learn how to take digital radiographic images. Armin asked if there was something that he could donate to the dental programs. We brought Armin in one day on a tour and showed him the mannequin. He was really pleased with that and said, that's what I'd like to be able to donate. We've got this mannequin named Armin, and people say, Armin, who is he named after? So we're able to share the experience with our students, and I often add the price in there because I don't think students have a comprehension, nor do a lot of people, of what the costs of all these items are, and so that way we get to talk about Armin on a regular basis as well.
Armin's been a huge contributor to the nursing department. We're thankful for so many things that he's offered to us and shared with us and helped us provide. Student scholarships, our simulation equipment, faculty training, faculty conferences that we've attended. One of the really fun things for me this year was attending the student scholarship breakfast and sitting with the nursing students that have received scholarships with Armin at our table and watching these students walk over to him just with this big smile and knowing the support that he's provided to them. Just seeing the growth and some of the students that attended that was really neat, knowing that they are on their way to success.
One member of the Umedian family, Patricia, was able to see a now endowed scholarship in her name created in 2010.
Thank you for allowing the Umedian family to participate with you at GRCC in an exciting adventure into the future. We are a family. Let's move forward together.
People that come here to visit, they go, I can't believe this wonderful city. And I think it comes from the kind of things my dad has been able to do that hopefully we will continue to be able to do.
Because he was a little boy that couldn't even speak English when he went to kindergarten. And the world has been his oyster. So we're pretty darn proud of both our parents.
You heard Armin say it in the video. We are a family. And I think that one statement sums up the commitment and dedication behind the Umedian family legacy at GRCC. We are a family. Tonight, I'd like to introduce you to another family member, a GRCC family member, who also looks to Armin as family. I'd like to introduce you to Ms. Liz McCormick. She's the former Director of Innovation at GRCC, and she now works for Priority Health as an Innovation Program Specialist. Liz?
I'm probably the shortest one who will be up here tonight, so I'm gonna move this back off. Oh, well, we're tied. If I take the heels off, I'm sure we're tied. So I was thrilled to know that this event was going to happen tonight and be asked to participate in it. Since I left the college 4 years ago, I've kept tabs with Armin, not as much as I would have liked. I've moved up to Traverse City, but I was thinking again, what would I say? And it wasn't because there wasn't anything to say, it was because there was so much to say. And they said I only have a few minutes. So anybody who knows me knows that's a tough assignment to get me to be succinct and say things in a few minutes. So I'm gonna talk from a couple of prepared notes. I wanna start by saying that Armin has been a constant friend to me, to GRCC, to innovation over the past decade, and he has added incredible joy and value to this work for so many people, as everybody in this room probably knows. I personally first met Armin in 2006, and we were working on a community innovation event together, The Right Place, Kettering, and GRCC, about innovation and what was going to be transforming in the economy. And Armin and I were on the planning board for that event. And it was sort of from that event that we became fast friends. And in 2007, then we started a journey because there was a large U.S. Department of Labor grant that came into our community called WIRED. And then through that WIRED grant, there were a few concepts that were being incubated and developed. And ours here at GRCC was to focus on creating a body of study around innovation and how that body of study would help grow the next generation of innovators. And as you can imagine, as Armin, a natural-born innovator, he was fascinated by that concept, as was I. And so we kind of went on that journey together. We created a core team of innovators here at GRCC, and we all had this passion around transformation through innovation and what that could mean for our community and our economy, so we were hooked. At that time, of course, everybody knows Armin can't be doing just one thing at a time, so he was doing multiple projects with regional ISDs, with Kettering University, and here at the college. And as a natural innovator, he could just see the connection points for how he could leverage that work in a lot of the things he was working on. And Armin and I had many conversations, many brainstorming sessions, because we knew if we were going to be successful in using innovation to transform learning environments, we had to get our faculty involved. but we wanted it to do it in a very collaborative nature, which is also part of Armin's spirit, and bring faculty and students and community together in one place. And not just do it in conceptual learning, but really focus on real world problems. So how are we going to do that? Innovation, right? Learning by practice. And that was really the genesis for the Armin Awards. And so we have a couple of other speakers here tonight who are going to tell you more about the Armin Awards, but we started that in 2010. And it's really through Armin's incredible generosity and his boundless energy, as we all know, and his contagious positive attitude that work has kept going. Armin took that sort of gift to the next level by creating scholarships for students and faculty who wanted to really be serious about the study and application of innovation. And as you hear again tonight, the fruits of that work are still going on. So Armin, I'm thrilled to be here today to say thank you. Thank you for what you've done to enrich my life, GRCC, and our faculty and students. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. We very much appreciate all that you accomplished while you're at JRCC and in your work with Armin, as much as we appreciate Armin pushing you forward in that work. Next, I'd like to introduce Andrew Rosema. Drew is the current GRCC Department Head for Computer Information Systems. Drew?
Thank you, Kathy. You think she has trouble keeping it short. I give hour-and-a-half long lectures, so buckle up, folks. It's going to be a bumpy ride. No, my name's Andrew Rosema. I'm the CIS department head. I'm also, we talk about family, I'm also a third-generation GRCC student. My mother, I graduated. I was part of the class that makes the top half of the class possible, if you know what I'm saying. But that's one of a long string of successes. I also first met Armin when I was the very first runner-up for the Armin Awards 2 years ago. If you'll remember that, with a great project. I had some wonderful students just catch on fire when we built an app for the Grand Rapids Festival of the Arts. It showed you the maps, it got you to the food booths, you could get your grub, it was great. So when Armin came a-knockin' and said, does anybody have any interesting ideas for projects, one of the things I'm really interested in is how space and place affects learning. And one of the things we're working on is how you can transform a person in this whole new virtual reality world. Anybody ever seen a GoPro before? Well, that's 6 of them. And class, if you could roll that for a minute. Imagine if I could take you up anywhere in the universe, anywhere, inside a computer, outside of a computer, anywhere on the planet, and really bring you there. And then even though this experience is intense and real and vivid and has 157 somethings to do with it, but then I could stop that experience, and class could stop that experience, and look around and put you in that place. Now, I've heard it said that, like, talking about virtual reality and even demonstrating it like this is kind of like dancing about architecture. You really don't get it until you put this thing on your face, and it takes you to a new place. And so one of the things I'm interested in exploring is how does that affect student learning? I mean, you can sit in a lecture hall and take notes, and even the things that we try and push in our CIS classes. My colleague, Katie Vandermeer, actually was the first place winner of the last year's Armin Awards, a fact that she does not let me forget. And going out and interacting with kids in the community and teaching them how to code not only benefits those kids, but it benefits our students who are teaching that. Because like any instructor in here will tell you, you don't really know something until you've had to turn around and teach it to somebody else. So I feel like I'm coming to tell you, we're trying to do the best with what we got, and we're trying to make the most of what you give us. And thank you so very much. One of the other innovations we're working on as we go down the roller coaster. We're building, thanks to another grant, we're building a 3D makerspace where students will be able to come in and design things in these 3D worlds and print them out on brand new 3D printers. So I invite you all up to the ATC when that gets built to come and see what we are doing up there. It's really, I think, going to be amazing. And as for this virtual reality stuff, you probably already own this technology. If you've got a relatively modern phone and you ask Siri or ask Google to show you 360-degree video, you hold your phone up, you move around, and you can be transported to another place. Absolutely amazing. So I recommend you try it for yourself. And I'd thank Armin for being part of the GRCC family and part of my family. My kid starts here next year.
Thank you, Drew. We appreciate all that you do to help our students embrace innovation and all you do for GRCC. And Armin, Drew couldn't do the things that he's doing. Wouldn't he? He'd probably think of it. But you, by wanting to have innovation in the classroom and understanding that for students, the best thing they can have, the best thing they can wrap their arms around in the classroom is innovation and being able to see how what they're being taught in the classroom relates to real world. That's what helps Drew do what he does, and we thank you very much for being the champion of innovation at GRCC. Now, Armin is not only committed to innovation at GRCC, he is extremely committed to student scholarships. The Omedian family has created several scholarship opportunities in the fields of nursing, engineering, and dental. And most recently, Armin endowed a scholarship for first-generation English as second language students. It was important for Armin to create this particular scholarship because he knows what it is like to be an immigrant in this country, and he wanted to encourage and support families in this community that are very much like his family when they arrived in Grand Rapids. Armin understands the importance of a college education, and he knows from personal experience that GRCC is the best place to start on that journey. As such, the Omedian family has dedicated significant resources to ensuring student success in high-demand fields. By removing financial barriers for students, the Omedian family is able to they are helping to ensure that the community leaders of tomorrow are able to focus on their studies and to stay on track today to ensure that they graduate or transfer. This personal dedication to the success of GRCC students also improves the quality of life within our community. And now, in our next video, we'd like you to hear from some of our graduates that have received the Omedian family's scholarships.
It is one thing to have a grand vision for improving our community. It is quite another to boil that vision down to where you can see it affect an individual. The scholarships, which carry the Omedian name, do just that, repeatedly. They fundamentally change the prospects that an individual student has for success.
Years ago, I decided, I really wanted to do dental hygiene. Never had much of a background in it. Knew I needed to get all my science done. Knew it would take me a little bit so I could start part-time, continue to raise a family and work. I chose dental hygiene because I knew I could go out and help others. It is very important to take care of our teeth, our mouth. It's connected to every part of your body.
I first went to chemical engineering. After that, I decided to go in the plastics field, decided to kind of mix the two with chemical engineering. I was interested in the after effects of the plastic. Still invested in chemical engineering, just kind of going hand by hand with the two.
I am here because when I was pregnant, I lost a baby, and then I received such a good care while I was having those complications. And I decided that one day I wanted to be a patient advocate.
The Armin Omedian Scholarship helped me pay for my schooling And I didn't have to work full-time and go to school full-time, plus have a family. Very helpful to people like me.
Armin Immedian helps me significantly, I think. It gives me a chance to take more classes or classes that I wanted to take for that specific program. It gave me more time so I could study or so I could take the classes that I needed to.
I received the Immedian scholarship. This has been helping me a lot. Since I'm in my last classes, I had to stop working because they were getting harder and harder. So it's probably not much, but for me, it's a lot. I want to say thank you to Armin. You make a big difference in my time in the school.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, Armin, for giving me this opportunity to help me grow and help me become where I'm at.
Armin, I'm truly honored that somebody would help us out. Our clinic is beautiful at GRCC. We have so much to give, so thank you for giving to us.
The first time I saw that video, I was on the verge of tears when it was over with because it's absolutely beautiful, and it does describe best the work that the Omedian family does in the area of scholarships. I mean, you've all heard firsthand from our graduates how important these scholarships are to them, and I believe through their scholarship work, the Omedian family is truly innovating our community one person at a time. So thank you very much for that. It is now my pleasure to introduce you to Michael Shavy, one of Armin's biggest fans, as well as someone that I know Armin has inspired and mentored in the area of innovation. Mike?
I've had the distinct pleasure of working with Armin for the past 7 years. And together we've created the Armin Awards, which is a unique experience at GRCC, showcasing innovative teaching practices through service learning. And through the Armin Awards, faculty are provided an opportunity to choose a course, choose a community partner, create a service experience for those students, teach and implement the service project, and measure the impact. The top 3 teams that do this the best are rewarded. And I think you've seen Andrew very proud of his accomplishments for participating in the Armin Awards. So over the last 4 years, 25 faculty have participated in the awards, ranging from nursing, psychology, biology, computer science, fashion, journalism, culinary, you name it. And much of our success stems from the passion Armin has for innovation. He's always ready to roll up his sleeves, from participating in our marketing videos, attending our committee meetings, and encouraging me at our Big Boy consulting sessions.
Big Boy, the restaurant.
Yeah, Big Boy. However you would like to take that, that's fine with me. I've grown as a man. So as a result of these Armin Awards, Grand Rapids Community College is now a leader in the field of service learning. More faculty are doing service learning, more community organizations are being impacted, like the American Red Cross, Family Promise, the Grand Rapids Public Library, Gilda's Club, and the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So I would just want to thank Armin for your generosity and for allowing us an opportunity to showcase innovative teaching practices here at GRCC. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike, for sharing the work you do with the Omedian family around the Armin Awards. The Armin Awards have contributed greatly to our students, to our faculty, to our staff, and to our community. And again, it's providing innovation and one person at a time in this community, and that's what Armin's about. He is definitely the personal, innovation personalized for you. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Lee Kleinert. Lee is a full-time faculty member here at GRCC in the Biological Sciences Department. She and a group of her students were the third place winners of the Armin Award this particular year. Lee?
I don't know, Liz. I wore my tallest heels, and I still think I win the prize for being the shortest tonight. So I had the fortune of working with Armin on a couple endeavors here at the college, both some STEM events for the Girl Geniuses the last 5 falls. Yes, so that was wonderful. We had some really good times doing that. Yeah. But I would like to speak tonight about the Armin Awards. So I will stick to my script as well because, again, like Drew said, I'm used to lecturing for an hour and a half, so I tend to go off script on that. Community service has always been a great passion of mine, instilled at a very early age by my parents. So it was really easy beginning in 2007 and very natural for me to begin using it as a teaching methodology. After 2 years of honing my service learning practices, I was approached to help the college to better institutionalize our service learning practices by being a faculty liaison for the Department of Experiential Learning. And for 4 years, I enjoyed serving in this role and assisting other faculty in cultivating their own service learning experiences. As a part of this work, I assisted colleagues with the development of their projects and seeing their successes as a part of the Armin Awards competition. Over the last decade, I have had the opportunity to deepen my understanding of best practices around service learning, presenting at local, state, and even national conferences. Last year, our Biological Sciences Department was thrilled to be awarded the Engage Department Initiative Grant through the Grand Rapids Community Foundation to expand our community engagement experiences for students within our biology courses. But the one thing I had yet to do was to enter the prestigious Armin Awards competition myself. So this past semester, I finally did. After 5 previous years assisting colleagues with showcasing their service learning projects or cheering them on, it was time to highlight my students and my community partner. Not only was being in the Armin Awards competition a culmination of my years of work in service learning, but also it was the pinnacle of my work when our team was honored with second runner-up, or third place. My students beamed with pride. To have their work recognized and applauded by the Armin Awards meant more to them than their actual course grade. And best of all, they were inspired to continue their community engagement, Armin. Our community partner, the Jenison International Academy, was so impressed and amazed by this classy and respected benefactor that they even wrote an article about it in their annual newsletter, which was shared with every family in the school district. I've had the pleasure of personally seeing the effects of service learning in my classes and how amazing it's been to see service learning grow over the years. The Armin Awards has provided the college an opportunity to showcase our best selves to the community. So thank you, Armin, for encouraging excellence in service learning.
Thank you, Lee. Excellence, that's another great word to describe Armin and what it is he's committed to. Up next is our final video of the night. It's an interview with Armin that I'm sure you all will enjoy.
For almost as long as there has been a GRCC, there has also been an Umedian associated with it. Armin attended what was then GRJC in the early 1940s, earning his associates before leaving to fight in World War II in Europe. Raised on the west side of Grand Rapids, going to college was a very big step.
I was encouraged to go to JC, and I had a little trepidation. I had a little fear of going across the river. I was from the west side, and my folks were from a foreign country, spoke broken English. My dad worked in a factory. People on the east side were rich people. This is what we imagined on the west side, which turned out to be false. I had some of my best friends developed at JC.
While at GRJC, Armin pursued his interest in engineering, an interest that would eventually take him to General Motors Institute, now Kettering University. This was the beginning of a lifelong fascination with innovation, a concept you've heard many others mention tonight. Many decades later, after a successful career in industry, Armin would share his passion for innovation by creating the Armin Award at GRCC, and he was willing to do almost anything to help promote it.
I'm back.
With your host, Armin Oumidian.
Let's get the show started, Johnny. First place is $3,000.
Wow, $3,000. God bless you, Armin Oumidian.
Excellent. But I have so many ideas.
This year's competition is with teams for ideas, and I forgot it already. This year's team, and I forgot it. It's not by this year's competition. This year's competition is with teams. Oh, God.
But as much fun as Armin had promoting them, the awards served the serious purpose of connecting students with community through innovative service learning experiences, including just about every college discipline you can imagine.
And innovation, when I learned about it, I really glommed onto it. You could win by being smarter at what you did, by doing it better, doing it faster, doing it cheaper through innovative ways. And that led me into education. To be innovative, you had to be smart. You had to do things different. You had to learn differently. You had to get teachers to teach differently. You couldn't do it the same old way anymore.
Thank you, Armin and family, for the legacy you have built. It will ensure that many more generations of students will continue to learn, both in the neighborhood where you all grew up and in your hometown of Grand Rapids, right here at GRCC.
And now for me, this is the very best part of our program. It is my distinct pleasure to invite Armin to the podium to say a few words.
When I first met President Ender, he'd been in his position 1 week. And I had the nerve to bring the president of General Motors Institute, Kettering University, to impose on him a little bit. And I was trying to win points both ways. And what happened during the meeting, I had a scholarship, or had 5 scholarships for $1,000 each. But there were no takers. These are for students that were going to leave here to go to Kettering after they graduated. And President Ender immediately said, I think I have a way to do this. And he proceeded to tell us exactly what he had in mind, which was super. And that's when I discovered that he was a problem solver. And on the way home after the meeting, my president from Kettering University wanted to talk about his grandchild. So I knew we had a class act, a guy, and it's turned out to be that. Thank you, President Ender. I have another experience to share with you. I gave a couple of $500 nursing scholarships. $500. That wouldn't turn a page. I got a letter back from one of the gals that you saw on the film.
telling me what a wonderful thing it was, that $500 changed her life. She was a mother of 3 kids, and she found that she could turn her life around by getting involved in home care. And she wanted to thank me. I wanted to tell her that she was excellent at writing a letter. And if she wanted to have another job, she could do that for a living. Wonderful. So it doesn't take much, folks, to help these kids. Sometimes it's a pat on the back, sometimes it's a little money. But whatever it is, they do need help. They do need guidance. They do need support. They need to be buoyed up. Now back to the more formal stuff. People ask me how old I am. I tell them 93. And then I tell them that I don't believe I'm going to die. But I know I am. But so far I'm right. I thought that would be a good way to start the speech. At a recent event, I waved at the audience. They thought I was waving at them. It's my Parkinson. And that was the warming up part. Thank you for this great honor this evening. I'm humbled and deeply touched and almost overcome by all this that's happened. You're all here tonight to acknowledge me and my involvement with GRCC, and certainly my family. One of the best people ask me occasionally, what one thing have you done that you're really proud of? I'm proud to have been in part of 3 kids being born by my wife and I. Thank you so much. This community college is a tremendous asset to our entire region, and I believe it is one of the best kept secrets in West Michigan. I've said that for years. It's much better now, much well known for its accomplishments, but still it continues to need help. We've got to help it grow. It's a great, great thing that we have here. If you'll permit me, I'd like to share a bit about my own involvement with this outstanding institution. I first thought about attending then JC even before graduating from high school, but I had some doubts if I would fit in. Luckily, I was encouraged by my family and teachers to go to JC as a pre-engineering student in the fall of 1941. Where I soon realized that it was no different from other students. But it was an eye-opener for me. On November 11th at 11 a.m. in 1942, I enlisted in the Army with 50 other fellow students. We finished our 2nd year of school and then went off to fight in World War II. Just before being sent overseas, I did the unconscionable thing. I got married. I had told my mother that I wouldn't get married until I got back from service with a whole body, and then finished my college, and then got a job. And then I stopped and thought, what girl would wait for you 7 years? Then the light came on. She also, I married my high school sweetheart, Pat Welch. She also attended JC for a year. I strongly believe in the academic foundation students receive at JCC. In fact, all 3 of my children, attended CC, and 2 even met their spouses at the same speech class, not at the same time. I'm also blessed to have 8 grandchildren and 11 great-grandchildren. And if you live long enough, that number keeps growing. I served in the Army in Europe until the end of the war in 1945. My success at JC gave me the confidence to continue my college education. After the war, I attended General Motors Institute and majored in industrial engineering. As a GMI graduate, I then went to work at General Motors. I worked there for 10 years before joining Rapistan here in Grand Rapids, where I worked for 32 years until my retirement in 1986, which lasted one day. When I joined 4 other business associates and formed our own company, where I worked for another 14 years before retiring again for good in 2001. As I said earlier, I believe JCC is a huge asset to our community and to our entire West Michigan region. Its solid academics prepare graduates to complete their education at 4-year universities around the country. And its numerous trade training programs equip students for employment in a wide range of fields which are in dire need of qualified employees. And that is so important. We stress, and Challenge Scholars, we stress college, and these kids hear that for the first time. They never heard college before in their homes. And then there's another part that's just as important, and maybe more important, and that's the trades. We are short of trade people in our community. We need to educate those people that are not academically bound to work well and provide their labor for the trades. GRCC is a cornerstone in ensuring the ongoing economic growth of West Michigan. I'm proud to promote its excellence to professional colleagues and other business leaders. It has also been my pleasure to financially support innovative and collaborative learning opportunities at CC, as you heard, particularly their STEM or science, technology, engineering, and math programs. I remain involved with CC because I know from my own experience how vital it is for students with ambition and ability to not only envision going to college, but to actually be able to be the first in their family to acquire an education beyond high school. That's a real accomplishment in many, many, many families. The educational foundation I received here was the springboard for my professional success. The scholarships I've instituted for economically disadvantaged students have inspired me to want to help even more students reach their potential. I enjoyed my career and the work which led to my success, but an even greater joy and blessing has been in giving to others. And that's the truth. I really enjoy giving to others. I've been able to help others achieve their dreams. And through relationships with those students and many faculty and staff here at CC, I've also been able to keep on learning and enriching my own life. I believe West Michigan can, no, I can't read that. I believe in West Michigan. I believe in GRCC. I am honored to continue to support its education and training programs for the benefit of its students and our entire community. Now, I'm asked over and over again, how do you want to be remembered? You know, the best way I can say it is, did I make a difference? I hope so. Thank you.
Got a standing ovation. thank you, Armin, for all that you have done and continue to do in support of GRCC and the GRCC Foundation. You don't have to worry about being remembered. You're always here and will forever be a part of GRCC. But now I have a bit of a surprise for you. For as long as I've known you, you've always encouraged me to think about the next big thing. How many times have you said to me, but what's the next big thing? We know sooner finish a conversation. Now, what's the next big thing? I'm still trying to think about what this thing is. And his next question is, okay, then how do we build on our current successes and encourage even more people to get involved? You've said that to me a million times too. You're always looking for ways to get people involved and to encourage people to continuously give to the GRCC. Not only do you want them to give, you want them to continuously give more. That is your family legacy. You've set the bar very high in terms of continuous giving here at the college. And in our office, we've been kicking around the idea of creating a consecutive giving club for external donors as a way of honoring those people who do continuously give and who believe in the same philosophy of building on our successes and moving towards the next big thing. So, it is with great pleasure tonight that I announce the creation of the Armin Omedian Consecutive Giving Club at GRCC. And I'll just go ahead and read what's here on the award. This Consecutive Giving Club is in honor of the Omedian family legacy. The Armin Omedian Consecutive Giving Club is established in honor of the philanthropic legacy that Armin and the entire Omedian family has created at Grand Rapids Community College. The goal of the Armin Omedian Consecutive Giving Club, that's a mouthful, is to encourage consecutive years of participation in giving back to GRCC. In true Armin fashion, this club is meant to build on past giving successes, always looking to increase future giving to benefit GRCC, moving the college and our students towards the next big thing. Please accept this in honor of the establishment of the award in your name, and thank you so much for all you do for GRCC and for our community. Well, that's the end of our formal program, so I want to just take a minute to say thank you all for coming, and feel free to continue to enjoy the food and the drinks and the time with the Omedian family. The brewery? The brewery's open. You want me to tell? See? Okay. Here's the next big thing. The GRCC Brew Pub, which is actually Peter's Pub, is the first and only in the country a brew pub that's on a college campus where we're making the beer. So talk about innovation, here you go. You're in the midst of innovation right here. So have some beer, have some wine. Is there anything else you want to say? What's our next big thing? Yeah. All right, thank you again for coming.